Good morning. Welcome to Hug Nation Live. I am John Halcyon. This is a daily practice of connection, gratitude, and reminding ourselves who we want to be today. It's a good question. And it's best to set your sails in the morning so that when you get challenged midday, you don't have to do all the calculations at that moment. And don't accidentally fall into a reactive response. Some old pattern, some old version of you going, sure, I'll do it, no problem. And then go, why did I say I was going to do that? Or see someone and being freezing as you watch them being embarrassed. And go later, why didn't I offer to help? Or step out of line to help them pick up their stuff? So we take this time each day to go, I know who I want to be today. I want to be an ambassador of love. I want to be someone who gifts and gives compliments and celebrates people who are being courageous, someone who listens well, someone who is present. Your list may vary. And I'd love to hear what's on your list in case I want to borrow it for mine. And we'll also share gratitudes, things we're grateful for in a moment or two. But first, because it feels like a slap in the face in the same avenue as over-the-top arm wrestlers would do, let's do this! I like to sing an improv song. Well, welcome to Hug Nation Live. I changed the name a bit, because when I say love morning, some people have to sit with it. They wonder why I'm talking to them in the middle of their day. When they watch the archive tomorrow, what heck did he say? If it's a morning message, does it mean something now? Well, if you're in the present, then I'll tell you how. Because things like love and things like gratitude are always just what you need to fix your attitude. Good morning. Welcome to Hug Nation Live. See what I did there? I was just thinking maybe I'm trying on the idea of calling this Hug Nation Live. To try to not alienate those people who might not watch in the morning, or alienate our dear friends in other countries or on the East Coast, to which this is Hug Nation Lunch Edition. So, good day to you. Hello, present moment. Even if this is the future and you're watching this message in a digital bottle, uncorked and releasing into your now. What are you grateful for? Good morning, Gerbot. What a treat. Always to see you. So happy to see you this morning. Good morning. I love you. And Moose Rooster's here. Hello from Calgary. Speaking of other countries, see, I'm not totally geographically illiterate. I've heard of other countries. I just can't find them on a map. And hello to you from sunny Utah, Dawn. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hey, Juan. Good morning. You know, I had a few people reach out to me after yesterday's broadcast, either saying, so excited for your pink tacos, or do you know where he's going to be located? And I know you posted at the very end of the broadcast, but I didn't write it down. So as this event in the desert gets closer, I invite you, would you please periodically remind us where pink tacos will be available as your gift to the playa. I saw this clip. I just noticed my voice going, hi, good morning. And I saw this clip where some, speaker person of authority was saying, when your voice goes high, it does not show confidence. Or something like that. And I was like, what? What do you mean? It shows friendliness. I'm always saying things high when I'm trying to show that I am not a danger. but maybe that's what he means. Like I think he was a cop. So don't go, freeze, hey, stop. Say, freeze, stop. Smile. That's hilarious. All right, I'm playing with it, but I am very much in tune with my inner high voice. What exactly do you mean? Well, I mean, I don't mean my specific alternate voices. Which voices? This is going to get complicated because there's what voices? It's not voices in general. Do you mean the tones from foreign countries that are, potentially offensive? Let's move on. Yes. Okay. What are you grateful for? What are you feeling grateful for in this moment? I'm grateful for feeling good when I woke up again today. 2 days ago, I had a 24-hour bug of some sort. I'm also feeling good and grateful that I believe I'm getting more clarity on what causes my eczema, flaky scabbiness in my skin. When I got back from Oregon, I was stressed and I door dashed some caramel M&Ms. And you've heard me talk about caramel M&Ms. I heard a comedian say, like, the younger me, there was a part of my brain that was like, drugs, women, drugs, gambling, drugs. And now that voice, since I'm no longer an addict in those departments, that same voice goes, ice cream, ice cream. And so I ordered DoorDashed a bunch of stuff we needed for the house. But the reason I DoorDashed it that night instead of waiting the next morning to go to the grocery store is because I wanted some M&Ms. And I wasn't even sure what stores had them because caramel M&Ms are not in full rotation at local markets. And so I go to like whatever grocery store, and they've got a sharing bag for $7, which is a lot of M&Ms. And I know I'm going to eat them all. Maybe not in one sitting. I might tell myself that, but it's a lot of M&Ms. But then for $10, they had a bag that was like twice as big. And I'm like, how could I possibly logically not buy the $10 bag and then just split it up? Because I've done that. I've taken the big bag and put into lots of little bags. Do you know how the story ends? Yeah, I finished the big bag. I put it into little bags, and then I finished the big bag within a 24-hour period, but probably less than that. And I think it's the milk chocolate, because I've been cutting dairy out, and that has really helped with my skin. And if I eat dark chocolate, I don't seem to have a problem. But if I have milk chocolate, I think that did it. And I had, you throw in enough M&M coatings, and that's a not insignificant amount of milk chocolate. So if that's the message, I'm going to do my best to listen. And actually, I'm even doing more than doing my best. I'm on a path right now of no desserts except for fruit. This is day 3. Global says, grateful for health, food, water, shelter, safety, family, friends, community, experience, nature, forgiveness, and my imagination and yours. Woo! That is a rich, thick smoothie of goodness. Thank you for sharing all of that. Good morning, high noon. Thank you for sharing your camp, Juan. Oh, it's I Ate Pink Taco is the name because you're at I and 8. Genius. Taco time every day, 4 to sunset. Love it. Moose Rooster says, I'm grateful for Ziploc bags, for lies we tell ourselves about party-sized snacks, and keeping my clothes dust-free at the burn. LOL, dust-free for 3 minutes. I overuse Ziplocs, for sure. I use them when I'm going on trips. I organize things into Ziplocs, especially like anything that could possibly leak, and anything that's got oil or liquid, anything. But often just I'll put like all my underwear into a Ziploc so I can see it, but it keeps it organized. And yeah, and I also have the big Ziplocs that you use for like a vacuum, even though I don't really use the vacuum, but the big Ziplocs that I use for Burning Man to like have my going home outfit. So you have clothes to put on after your first shower that are truly dust-free, not just clean by Playa standards, because once you're clean, you do feel the like trace dust on it. So yes, grateful for Ziplocs. Imagine before Ziplocs trying to do everything with like saran wrap. I mean, that's even a modern technology, but I am not very successful with saran wrap. I'm more of a glass bowl with a Tupperware top is my go-to. High Noon says, gratitude for a wonderful woman named Pat who gave me granola she made. I love me from granola. I didn't say it out loud actually, but in my path of no dessert, I even told this to Lisa last night. I'm like, I haven't decided yet if yogurt and granola counts as a dessert or not. I have yogurt that doesn't have sugar, but the granola has quite a bit of sugar usually. So we shall see. Good morning, Edna. High Noon says fruit is natural sugar. I don't have the same binging, and I don't think my body responds as bad to fruit binging. Like I can eat the fuck out of a watermelon. I can put myself into a serious amount of, I gotta lie down, I've eaten too much headspace or body space. But I still recover from that in a way better result than if I overeat M&Ms or more carby stuff. I know sugar is sugar, many people say, but let's just go pro fruit for now, for me. Good morning, Kiri. Kiri says, grateful to be invited to hang out with some new friends last night. I didn't go, but it made me feel so loved to be invited. Yay. Moose Rooster saying, I get changed in Exodus, then again after shower. Nice. I'm usually so freaking dusty during Exodus because we break down the shower and then during breakdown, and so then moving all the stuff that's so dusty from the camp that by the time breakdown is done and I'm getting into the car to leave, I'm usually as dirty as I've been all week. So there's no reason to put clean clothes on until I get a rinse. Good morning, John. John says, grapes. I will go into a grape coma and probably not healthy in that extent. I feel you on the grapes. My mom does something where, do you ever have frozen grapes? My mom will make baggies of frozen grapes so that at least when you get to the end of a single bag, you have a moment of pause and go, am I done? I think maybe I should stop. Because yeah, grapes and watermelon are the things that my brain goes, it's healthy. Fruits, it's like eating vitamins. And my tongue is like, yes, sugar, sugar. And my gut, things in my gut that are communicating to my brain saying, sugar, give us more sugar, come on. But a crisp grape and crisp cold watermelon, both cold. Oh, goodness. So I've got a number of things that I wanted to share that I'm grateful for, just that it recently. So last night I got to go to an intimate concert with, let me have a sip of water. Last night I got to go to this intimate concert with Krista Richards and Dave Buddha, both wonderful friends, incredible people. Krista was one of my closest females in my life for a very long time. She has since moved from San Diego, but is still someone so close to my heart. And it's so good to see her and hug and look her in the eyes and then hear her sing and remember how many incredible moments, how many tears I've shed listening to her beautiful music, and how many crazy adventures that I will never share publicly that, we traversed through together. And then Dave is someone who I actually did a workshop together a number of years ago about healthy narcissism. And it was before the word narcissist got kind of turned into a blanket term for selfish ex-partners, and just being like, it'd be hard to call a workshop that now, but he reached out to me because he says, hey, it seems like you explore some of the same ideas of healthy self-love. I think we should co-lead something and get people together that are exploring and working on what are the obstacles and what are the kind of dangers and things to keep in mind as you explore self-love, and how that can benefit you and how you can be a more loving person in the world through a healthy development of self-love. And really, quickly liked him and have really continued to witness the way that he shows up and things he writes online and his perspectives, and a courageous writer, speaker in areas that sometimes are tough to navigate. And so they came together to do a show. Krista came to town, and so they did this show that was in a living room of a gorgeous home, and with very limited capacity. So it really felt like lucky to go. And so Lisa and I went, and I was like, man, these two people are so cool. They're just talking and telling little stories between their songs or about their songs, and they would sing one song then the next, and which I thought was great because Dave is like a guitar. I don't know enough about music to but guitar folk songs, I guess, about love and loss, but he also wrote songs about. One of his songs was "Everybody Wants to Be Me," about his healthy self-love. My favorite song that they played was one saying, it was like, why it's great to be a quitter. And oh my God, I will put a link to it, because, it was so clever, and it was kind of like, if you spend your life striving for scaling and growth, you got to start quitting your plans and living in the now. And it was super fun and made me laugh. And and then Lisa and I, kind of gave a look, because I think I'm more of the, that's good enough, let's quit and move on, and she's more of the, it could be way better. And then Krista's songs about love, I was like, wow, it's so beautiful to hear these songs about love and relationship and the power of love. And as I'm touching and holding this partner in experiencing this love like I never believed was going to be a part of my life, and to be with her and hearing these love songs. I got like the fluttery, almost tears so many times. And there's also something really kind of exciting for me, which is that, for over a decade, Krista was the singer in my life. She was the one that if she was going to sing, we were going to go listen to her sing, and at parties and events, she would be the one that would do a song. And now Lisa is the singer in my life. And so this was so bringing Lisa to hear Krista sing was kind of like, I want you to meet my ex-lover, and I hope you guys get along, because she still means something to me. She's still important to me. I mean, I was never lovers with Krista, although she is a gorgeous woman, and considering how close we were, I sort of wonder why we never did. Oh, I don't know, because I was probably cowardly and never asked, but so glad that we have this lifelong, like, super brother-sister connection. And it's so cool to mix it all up and have Lisa be connected to these parts of older me, younger me. It's also fun. A lot of people who are there that I knew or kind of knew, have not seen the non-pink bearded version of me. And so that was fun. And a lot of people had not seen me since I've been engaged, and so we're saying congratulations. And lots of people had heard and seen me talk about Lisa and were like, is this her? Is this her? So, and it's so nice to know, like, I am so confident that Lisa will make me proud. I am so proud to introduce her and say, this is my beloved, this is my person. And yeah, it was a really special night. I cannot wait to listen to more of their music. Krista Richards and Dave Buddha. I really highly recommend including them in your future listening. Let's see. High Noon says he rewashes Ziploc bags. I try to do that too, unless they're really gross. But man, drying a Ziploc bag, like I usually hang it over the sink faucet. Maybe you have a good Ziploc drying technique that you could share, because sometimes, because I hang it on the faucet, then eventually I use the faucet and I get it wet again, or boy, where's my I love my problem sticker? Oh, there it is. I love my problems. John's recommending frozen blueberries. Okay, that's never been in my repertoire, so I'll give that a shot. Heinen says, that is one aspect I want to explore with the men's weekend retreat. Healthy self-love is something deeply needed. Oh my goodness, yes. And I think it's a lifelong journey. You keep chipping away at the things that are in the way. And some of it's not chipping away. Some of it is learning to love the parts of yourself that are filled with criticism and judgment. You can't ever get rid of them, but you can say, I understand you are trying to protect me, and I hear you, and you can step aside and let another part of me take the wheel for now. That we have more evidence. Since you came into being, there's a lot more evidence that I am enough, and that I am good, and that I am lovable. Sherry, good morning. Sherry says, grateful I've stretched and breathed deeply so far. Feeling awake and able to face the day. Let's all take a breath. Moose just says, before Ziploc bags, my mom used bread bags. That's so hilarious. My mom still keeps all bread bags. Hey, Valerie. Valerie says, feeling super grateful for all the meditation tools I learned at Joe Dispenza and the amazing friends who are supporting me healing. Keep meditating. The data clearly shows it heals you. Awesome to hear. I'm glad you had a good experience. Anybody else want to share any gratitude before we head out into our days? Heineken says, turn the bags inside out and use long spoons to stretch it out. Okay. All right. I'm open to trying. Good morning, Steve. What else? Oh, I'm really grateful for the way the podcast I did with Tovin Satara. It's just went live. The new Stay Sparked is Betsy and I talking with our friend Tovin, who is also known as DJ Kaztek. If you look up Cazztek, Kaztek, yeah. And he is also the creator of Lucid Functional Mushroom and Adaptogen drinks, which I have been drinking for the last year. And since Betsy and I have been drinking it a lot, we were like, let's ask them if they'll sponsor our show. And they were like, fuck yeah. Although I don't want to put words in their mouth that were obscene. They said, that sounds great. And so now Stay Sparked has a sponsor, which is Lucid, a product that we used anyway, which felt like the only thing that felt good. And so we interviewed and talked to them a lot about inspiration, about the influence of Burning Man, about how gifting music and gifting a health product, the similarities, and some really interesting stuff about how commercial enterprises do not have to be anti-Burning Man, and that decommodification does not mean anti-capitalism, which is something that Larry Harvey was very clear about, and is something that I struggle with still. Of, like I've never charged for anything Burning Man related, but in a way, everything in my life is Burning Man related. The coaching I do is influenced by Burning Man. The men's groups in some ways are influenced by Burning Man. And I would love to gift everything. I gift almost everything. YouTube channel there's no ads on it. Everything I do is non-monetized in social media. But some things are a gift, and I ask for energetic monetary compensation so that it is clear that there is a value to this time that we are sharing. If I'm showing up, I only have a limited amount of pieces of time that I can allocate. And so I need to know that if I'm going to take a precious piece of time and say, this is for you, that you are going to consider that time precious as well. And money is one of the best and easiest ways to be clear that this is important to me. This time is important to me. That doesn't mean that the experience is not coming from a gifting mentality of like, I want to help fill this crack. I see some place that you could be lifted, that I could help. I want to gift. And there is a commercial aspect to it that makes it more complicated, but does not erase the energy of gifting to it. Hello, Edna. Edna is grateful to be here live again. Woo woo. If you missed the beginning, I actually called the broadcast Hug Nation Live, which I think I'm going to start to do now instead of Love Morning, because, like, is anybody here? What time is it for you? Do you not consider, it's probably some people it's not morning where you are. and people that watch this recording, it's already out of date the minute the recording is live. It's no longer, now it's, oh, that's the old Love Morning. But if it's Hug Nation Live, it's still, you can watch it later in the day, right? Natasha is grateful for such a successful first day of school morning for my kiddos, and just feeling so lucky to have the family I have. And sending you cool thoughts for the heat wave you're going through. High Noon says, go daily meditation and gratitude circle, helping me see myself and other beings in a new light. Man, I love your journey and the way you share it. Thank you for your updates and your shares and your enthusiasm. Natasha says, I also have some awesome t-shirts that I love to give you money for. Thank you. And that's an example of like, products require resources to create. I mean, I think I make $2 on a t-shirt, but the costs of creating them, printing them, shipping them, you know, all that stuff, it's cost prohibitive to distribute things if we don't have commerce involved in some way. But I love thinking of it like as, like, I certainly get a gifting feeling of when you choose to wear it. In my mind, I'm not thinking, oh, she's giving me money. I'm thinking, you're making a choice to receive my gift, my art, and share it. And I get that gifting plus one feeling from that. Good example. Thank you. All right, we got 11:30 and High Noon on the Beast Coast. Sweet. Well, I appreciate everyone for being here, and continued special feedback, special gratitude for everyone who's offered to help out with the pink ride this year at Burning Man. I'll be honest, my first FOMOs kicked in as I was watching videos of past pink rides. It has never failed to be a highlight of my year. And I'm very much looking forward to seeing footage from this year's burn. And I'm actually feel fantastic that it's going to happen without me. Really stoked that Mingle, who's often here, is going to give a little talk, and that Kiri and Sean are going to help lead a gratitude circle. And the spirit of a pink ride is going to continue forth, and I am so grateful for Mingle and Sean and Kiri for really saying, like, we got this. And for Juan, and for a number of other people who said, I'll help too. I'll help move the chairs and help out with the setup on site, which is super helpful. Yay! Juan says, I love Hug Nation Live. Thanks. Okay, well, I'm gonna stick with that. And if you hear me dropping into Love Morning, feel free to be like, the preferred nomenclature is Hug Nation Live. Just because I in my mind says, like, oh, remember to say they there, I'm not so quick always to catch up with my brain. Natasha says, I love to be able to support your endeavors here. Thank you. Thank you all for being here and for being a part of this endeavor, adding your zhuzh. Oh, the one thing I wanted to add to the reminders of the day: gratitude. Who do we want to be today? And in the pauses in our day today, let's try to add little moments of loving kindness, bringing someone into our thoughts and just wishing happiness and goodness and peace and joy to them, thinking of them laughing, thinking of them happy and full. Do it with the people that you are closest with, and it's so easy. And then do it with the people that are driving next to you, strangers, and just see if your love ambassadorship can have a silent force of blessings as you go through your day. Wherever you are, give yourself a big old hug. Feel yourself in this intentional gathering, intentional hug, appreciating our bodies, our hearts, our recognition of not being alone, of being surrounded by millions, potentially billions of open-hearted, loving, creative, incredible people. Let's feel connection to those countless wonderful spirits out there. Take a deep breath in and squeeze them all. On behalf of Grandpa Caleb and all of us here, thanks for being here for our Hug Nation Live. I love you. High Noon pointed out that if you won't be at Burning Man, we will do a global pink ride at the same time. So you can ride around and gather a few friends if you want, and you ride around and say, I love you to people or trees or birds, whatever you want. But being a love ambassador, if you've never done the pink ride, it's, 50 to 150 people all dressed in pink riding together saying, I love you, I love you, I love you to everybody they pass. Pretty, 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 pretty awesome. Shelly Joe, great to see you. In fact, I just saw you in an old pink ride video. So, sending you a big, big love. Happy to hear that, Edna. For me too. Enjoy your Thursday. I put up a new thing on Instagram. So if you follow me on Instagram, leave a comment or a like. Or tell me, wait a minute,